2020 GSL Super Tournament, Season 1.
What is up? It is the final day of the GSL Super Tournament. We've had a kick-ass tournament so far today. We're going to have the Final Four and the Finals all right in a row. We were just informed before we went live that we're wearing each other's jackets. Looks like we just hooked up and then had to get dressed really quickly before the show started.
Are we wearing each other's jackets?
Yeah, that's actually the one. I thought this was tight on me. This shows you where our minds are before the show starts. We just put on whatever they give us.
I could be wearing a bikini right now. I don't even know.
We might not have anything on underneath this desk. You guys don't know.
So is my jacket smaller than your jacket?
Yes, I'm the fat one. But apparently the makeup room thinks that you're the fat one because they keep giving you the giving me the medium and you the large. So.
All right.
Yeah. Who knows though? We'll see if we could change. You know what I should have done? I should have just had us change when we're on a commercial break and see if anybody actually noticed.
They still won't.
They still won't.
No one's tuning in for the beginning of the show.
They skip right past this part. Anyways, this tournament's been great. It's going to be back here doing StarCraft 2. It's going to be 2 best-of-5s and then the finals a best-of-7. I think earlier in the tournament we were saying that the semifinals is a best-of-7. We were wrong. It's actually a best-of-5.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I can live with this. Trap versus Dark and Maru against Solar. 2 excellent matches. I'm very excited to cast today, Tasteless.
Yeah.
And I'm really, like everyone else, I have my fingers crossed that we do get that Dark Solar Finals.
Yeah, we might have a very disappointing TVP instead.
Yeah, but can you imagine how bad it would be if Maru and Dark faced in the finals? What a waste of time that would be. I might just go home and not take a paycheck for today if that's what
I might
the
just
finals
not
is.
cast and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
We can play whale sounds over the game, with something else. Actually, to be honest, no matter what we get, I think it's going to be a fantastic finals. And this will probably be the last time we do Super Tournament in a staggered format like this. I know this tournament was actually following more of a
No, the other Super Tournament has this format too.
It does?
Yes, Stasis.
Okay.
This is just the new format.
Okay.
Don't go around making things up.
I was also informed we have each other's pants on. We're wearing the wrong pants today. This will be the one cast where I get more things wrong than I've ever gotten right, which is saying a lot. Anyways, our first player, Trap. This guy has been steadily improving. I love how more and more refined his play is. Protoss is a race that really does allow you to express yourself. There's so many different ways to approach each of the matchups. And I think Trap's really shown a lot of ways that you can push Protoss to the upper limits. There's a lot of cool builds he comes up with.
Yeah. He's super strong at the moment. And has been for some time. Now, of course, Dark has been one of the best Zergs in Korea, one of the best Zergs in the world for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's the reigning world champion. He is a GSL champion at this point as well.
And he's hungry for a win here now. We had a long downtime with no matches in this studio. And, obviously coming back from a huge win here, becoming the world champion. He could very easily become the champion of the Super Tournament. This is going to be the hardest match for Trap yet, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I was saying at the beginning, I felt like Dark would just win the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's a pretty safe bet right now to take down a tournament like this. He always does well in Super Tournament. As you saw, he has a first place and a second place in Super Tournament so far. Okay, taking a look at the map lineup. Okay.
Nightshade to start things off. Eternal Empire, Everdream, Purity and Industry, and Simulacrum.
Veto on Golden Wall. Unfortunately, I'm really hoping that we get to see more of that map. Hopefully the finals we get 2 map. Whatever map that's, wherever that is in the pool, right?
With our luck, ittle be map 7.
Yeah, it's map 7.
Maybe we'll get lucky, though.
It's 5-2.
Yeah.
I mean, a 4 or 2. I don't even know what's going on.
We're terrible today.
Oh, my God.
We're totally off.
Jeez Louise.
We'll catch our rhythm. We'll get back into this. Guys, this is Game 1, Trap versus Dark on the map Nightshade.
Game start. Jin Air Green Wings, Trap. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark.
Okay, we got a probe. Excuse me. We got a probe coming across the map now. Yeah, I think I want this to be a close match. I'm worried it might not be. You know, I'm worried Dark might smash here.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
I don't
Am I
think
wrong?
anyone
Am I really underestimating Trap
Yeah.
here? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in the world can smash Trap in any matchup. I think when
He's gotten
Trap's
so
in the
good.
match, you know it's going to be close against anybody. Like, I won't be surprised if Dark ends up taking it down, but, like, here's what the truth of the matter is, Tasteless, right now. Just whatever you were applying to stats recently, just apply it to Trap.
That's actually a good way to put it.
Yeah. Like, so if you were thinking, wow, it's stats versus Dark, that's going to be sick, that's approximately where Trap's at, is that kind of stats-ish level. In fact, he's had a better past year or so than Stats has. So,
Well,
there you go.
if you think that Trap's going to win this, do you think he'll have to win it in a macro game? Because it seems to me like it's very hard to surprise Dark anymore. It's
Yeah,
very
it
hard
is.
to get him with some kind of a... And I feel like this matchup is... a lot of it's hinged on the Protoss having to win with some kind of... How do I say this? In some window of time.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to come in there and do the damage. Unless the Zerg opts to do some kind of a super all-any move, it seems like the Protoss is the one that has to choose when to end the game. The Zerg is the one that has to defend and deflect and eventually outgrow the Protoss if they choose not to do some kind of a rush.
Well, that is kind of the strength of Zerg, right? They have the strongest economy and strongest map vision of the races. So
it seems like it's rare to have a Zerg that's always all-inning or rushing, just because it seems like the race, if you're going to play the race to the best of its abilities, with creep all over the map, with all that vision, why not just play the defensive game?
Yeah, and that's why we see, like some of the really big-time late-game Zergs do really well, like Rogue.
Right.
Obviously, Cyril does very well as well in that regard. But really, if I had to put these players, these like tops, let's take the top 3 Zerg players in the world and put them on a scale. The most macro-oriented would probably be Rogue.
I would agree with that,
Followed by Cyril, followed by Dark. I think Dark adds in more cheesy plays than the other ones.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, recently, Rogue has been very Nidus-y. So maybe
that's true.
Maybe I would have to adjust
Well,
that
I
a little
think
bit.
maybe Rogue like 2 years ago was much more of like the passive Zerg.
Yeah.
He seemed to be like the absolute optimum, or optimal, I should say. Zerg that is just he's in the game, but he's not in your face as much as he is just outgrowing. But I think you're right with Nidus, especially Rogue has become super hyper abusive. I mean, the Nidus is one of the most powerful things in the game, though. I almost feel like his Nidus play, though, is a lot less to end the game and more to just drag it out. Does that make sense?
I see what you say.
He'll use Niduses in late game to counterattack a lot more often.
Yeah. Now, Dark, on the other hand, like this guy definitely can play late game Zerg quite well. He's very good at using the compositions and getting a big macro machine going. Wow.
Good catch.
Yeah, that's really nice. But yeah, this like. Well, this is going to be interesting. Actually, I'll talk more about that. In a minute.
this is getting kind of cool. We have 2 Lings attacking the bottom, a pylon, and he's thrown down a second pylon, which is obviously going to telegraph to Dark that he is very serious about maintaining this position and using this as a launching pad for his attack. But it's denied, and this really takes the wind out of the sails of the rush overall.
Well, you said you can't really surprise Dark, and already we're kind of seeing that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, here for Trap, he went for a Glaives opener. Did not work out. He's following up with a Dark Shrine, which is somewhat common. And, I mean, already some spores going down. But at least he's taking a third base, right? So he wasn't all in like with that like we saw with SOS a couple times.
Okay, the Lings are coming forward now. It looks like these Warpins are barely, I think, going to save this spot. Yeah. But, again, this is a pretty big interruption in the... the intentions that Trap came into this game with. I mean, the fact that we saw him throw that second pylon down is a little bit worrisome. I don't know if he has he'll be able to kind of transition out of this, but I don't know how good his plan B is going to be, you know? I think Trap would have almost preferred it, even if he were to lose, to just not have the rush work than to have it found and then denied.
Yeah, well, the lucky thing here is Dark countered everything that was going on really hard, but didn't know that a Dark Shrine went down. So he's actually made a plume of units to go and put pressure on that third base. But with DT tech out, this can't really do anything. His layer just started.
Very true. We see the Roach is actually going to push forward here.
Yeah, but they're going to have to turn around
the
the second they hear these DT swipes, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. This isn't going to do much of anything. He's going to go ahead and make these Ravagers. Let's see where the DTs are. Did he send the DTs out on the map? Okay.
Yeah, you see, he has to turn around right now. The layer still not done at this point. So this will actually give Trap plenty of time to get the type of army together that Dark can't really do damage to. So even though we haven't seen any actual damage done to Dark as of yet, his worker count has been extra low this game because he's made these extra units early on. And then he tried to go for an attack, and none of that really did anything.
Okay, the DT's in here. Let's see if he gets any drones. You can see the Lings are kind of getting in the way there. Good catch. Takes that first DT out. Did he only send that one? Were the other two brought back for an Archon?
He split one off somewhere. I'm not sure what he did with it.
Set that Archon there?
Possibly.
He had 3. Okay. I think that's what happened there. 5 more gates is coming down here as well. Big gateway explosion with Immortals being pumped out as well. No 4th base yet for the Zerg, so I don't think we're going to have a push just yet. But Zerg is going to have to get a 4th eventually here.
Well, he just popped out 20 more drones since those DTs started walking across the map, so his economy was not really ready for that 4th base anyways. Now he is on the full 3-base economy, though. We'll see what he wants to do from there.
So the Baneling's Nest is coming down now. Okay, now we have the 4th finally coming up here. Now, I would imagine he wants to let a few more of these gateways finish, get Warp Gate, and then when the Warp Prism comes in, I think that's probably when we're going to see the push. Actually, probably when +1 finishes, which is not too far unaligned with the...
I think it's a good idea to start the push right away with the Prism, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of get out there and keep pressure on. I don't know if he's going to have a kill timing. You know, his army is pretty scary right now, and the Baneling Nest just finished, so we're not going to have Baneling speed for a bit. When Baneling speed finishes, the odds of going over and killing Dark are going to fall dramatically. So if he's going to kill him without going very late game, it should be now.
Okay, he's coming forward now. The target for the attack is going to be on the 4th unless he really finds there's some kind of a better position to attack into here.
Yeah, no, if you look at that creep spread, it has to be the 4th.
Dark is intending to hold the attack off and have those 4 Banelings that we just saw on screen a second ago go up into the 3rd and pop all the workers off. And that, if he denies this attack and pulls that off, there's going to be pretty much no way for Trap to recover here. So some, hold on, here we go. Yeah, he's not watching. Actually, I'll tell you what, that's not as bad as it could have been.
No,
4 is a totally okay number to lose. I thought he was going to lose like something like 7 or 8 there, but the push is coming forward.
Wow, some reasonable splitting there from Trap, really, and he did some good dodging on the Biles as well. He's actually throwing out a shade, but does cancel it. It doesn't seem like he can break this, though. I mean, just look at that army from Dark. What, like, why are you actually fighting that right now?
Yeah, I'm surprised. When Dark backed up and made a bigger concave for himself, I don't think there was any really realistic way to win that. GG, Dark smashing that attack.
Wow. I'm really surprised he took that fight. Maybe he felt like he could not escape at that point. But just looking at the size of the army Dark had on top of that ramp, looking down at him, it's like, no, this is, you've got like 2 Immortals. Never, ever. It's just not going to work. All right, so a strong first victory there for Dark. And of course, let's not forget, you know, there was like some good things that Trap did there, like he denied that attack from Dark with the DT tech, but his entire build from A to Z was pretty much figured out, right? It was scouted how quickly he got the Twilight. It was scouted when he had the proxy gate. None of his actual plans got to happen.
I think you're highlighting a really important point. We could talk about that final attack and how that was so unimpactful, but in reality, it's the fact that Dark detected every single thing the Trap was trying to do, and then Trap, all he could do was try that 3-base timing attack when Dark was taking his 4th. Did not work. We're going to go to map number 2. It's going to be on Eternal Empire. Again, I think Dark the clear favorite. We're hoping to have an even match here, but right now, game 1, Dark looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, looking like a champion in waiting.
Looking like a world champion. All right, guys, our game is finally loaded up. Let's do this. Trap vs. Dark, game number 2.
Game start. Jin Air Green Wings. Trap. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark.
Okay, let's see what Trap wants to do. I mean, it's especially in modern StarCraft 2, it's pretty expected that the Protoss is going to do a couple timing attacks, kind of like the one we saw Trap intending to do in the first game. That's pretty par for the course. I want to see what other stuff Trap has. It does seem like in a best of 7, or even a best of 5, frankly. Actually, sorry, I keep thinking this is a best of. This is a best of 5, but even a best of 5 or best of 7, it does seem like the Protoss has to have several different types of builds to win. Like you can't.
Yeah.
There's not like for instance, the way we've seen like Innovation play in the past. And this is not a knock on him either, but in Innovation, it's not uncommon to see him sort of repeat the same style. He's just really, really refined it. I think especially in PvZ as a matchup overall, you have to have a lot of different approaches if you're going to be tournament level ready.
Well, certainly that is the way of it right now. We have gone through metagames and balance patches where the late game army composition favored Protoss.
Sure.
And in those, you could just have the Protoss kind of sustain and get up to carriers or something like that, right?
Something I want to point out here, because you'll kind of hear people talk about this on the internet about, a timing attack is not a way to play straight up. You really have to try to understand how the matchup is operating.
Yes.
There's a lot of people, I think this is, with certain people who are into StarCraft but it's not quite clicking with them, this idea that the best way to play is always the passive way, always to be reacting. That really depends on the matchup.
Yes, it's very true.
Which role your race is playing given the meta and what patches have come out.
Yeah, no, you're really right on that, actually. And let me expand upon that, right? Because a lot of people kind of know me as a somewhat salty StarCraft 1 Terran.
What?
Yeah. Terran player that really advocates
Where would they get
macro.
that idea, though? I'm sorry.
And the thing is, I love macro and all that.
Yeah.
One thing that I actually had a misunderstanding, look at this, he's actually hiding Adept just outside of Overlord range. It's so cute. Anyways, one thing that I really had a misunderstanding on for many, many years, it wasn't until I learned a lot more about StarCraft via StarCraft 2 and whatnot. For instance, in StarCraft 1, Terran is mostly a timing attack race, where it requires intense mechanics, yes, but you have to look at things like this. Yes, in this matchup, one side has to be the aggressor. That's always the case, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you don't have some side being the aggressor, then you're basically, the right play is to leapfrog each other over and over. You see that a lot in Terran versus Terran in StarCraft 2, where you might see a jump from Mech into Sky Terran or something like that, and then from Sky Terran, it's which type of Sky Terran are we going for? Are we going for VCs? Are we going for Viking Liberator? What are we doing here, right? So that's a leapfrogging type of way to play if you're both playing passively. But a lot of the times you'll have a matchup like PvZ where you do have to do timing attacks. Yes, the onus is upon Protoss. We don't really have a way that Protoss plays in the late game that just beats Zerg now.
And this actually mirrors Brood War, the meta right now in StarCraft 1. The same thing, where it's the Protoss actually has to stop the Zerg before they've gone too far, basically.
And there have been metas in the past, like carrier-based metas, where Zerg had to do some sort of attack. And the thing is, timing attack is an overused term that people actually don't even know what means.
Yeah, the term timing in general is sort of thrown around, I think, a little bit too liberally.
Yeah, a lot of people just call timing attack any attack as a timing attack.
They're here comes just timing. It's no, he's just pushing out, dude.
But a true timing attack will oftentimes have a time or an upgrade attached to it.
Right. Or right before they finish their upgrade, or something like that.
Either way.
I need to stop you before you could.
It's at 8 minutes he has hives, so you have to hit before then or something like that.
Right.
So you're lining up everything to do that. But yeah, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the race is cheesy or easy or something. It's no, I mean, you have to get something done.
Yeah, you need to get out there and do that. And I want to put that out because I think occasionally, just to go back to the early part, I think people get confused when they see certain attacks like this and they think it's either an all-in when it's. I understand the concept of an all-in, but I think that's probably the wrong term to use. Really, it is a specific build-up to a moment where you have to close it.
Yeah, there is a slight difference there.
Yeah.
An all-in is there's no real way to transition out of it.
Literally, if it doesn't work, it's physically impossible to then recover if the player is good at all.
Yeah.
And that's different from okay, the timing attack failed, and it's probably going to be tough to recover, but The game hasn't ended. It's not like you took all of your workers, for instance, and attacked with it, and all the workers died. You know what I'm saying?
That would be an all-in.
That would be an all-in, yeah.
Yeah, taking a look at this game, there was definitely some mind games going on from Trap. Like he hit the first Adept for a little bit. He waited till 2 Oracles flew over. Didn't really find the damage he was looking for with that initial push. Now he's flying around with this Prism, trying to get some harassment done. But yeah, you can kind of see, just looking down at that worker count, how different of a game this is so far, right?
Yeah.
Dark was down below 50 drones for a very long time in game number 1. Here he's been able to get up much more comfortably into the 70 worker number. And he's going to explode pretty quickly here. You see that Trap is trying to keep the pressure on, but hasn't been able to get much done yet.
We have the Nidus network starting. It's actually a pretty good, most likely a blind spot for both the Oracles and the Warp Prism. This may end up catching Trap off guard. Where is he going to try to pop this up?
Well, he's...
please go ahead.
Again, what he's playing against here, this is like the optimal way to go Stormhost Nidus.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing against someone that's going like a more macro-oriented Archon, High Templar, Immortal charge composition, which is a pretty normal composition, but notice how Trap's not really on the map. He's playing a harassment-based style. To go for this, you're going to whittle that army down. It's going to be very hard for it to ever leave the base as soon as you throw out your first set. So right now, Trap is looking for this. He just scouted it.
Okay, great scout. I don't know if he's going to be able to stop this in time, though. Knowing is not always enough here.
Yeah.
Okay, he actually doesn't quite get as many locusts out as he wants. You want all the locusts to come out at once to do the damage, but...
I think he threw a few to push that army back for a second. Now he's throwing the rest of the natural. And now he's just going to pop these up basically endlessly. And we see what Trap's decision is. He already had a second Robo on the way, but now he's going into Colossus or Disruptor tech.
Right.
So I think what he's going to do is he's going to run around, take damage from this while defending, try to build his army to a critical mass, and then attack.
And this is really, really strong. I mean, you're basically pelting them with free units that are going to reload here. Abusing cooldowns is one of the best things you can do in StarCraft, basically. So he's going to send them through here, and this is this seesaw of defense that we see. Trap has to scramble from one side to the other, back and forth. And behind this, the Zerg is able to expand and continue to upgrade and develop, and ideally just wear the Protoss down.
Yeah, and he's doing a pretty good job so far. Like, we see a little bit of a wasteful attack here from these roaches, some good force fields from Trap, so he is whittling down some of the units that aren't free, which can be nice, but you see every time the locusts come in, Trap is taking quite a bit of damage. Truly, like...
Yeah, this is going really well right now. I mean, everything's going according to plan here for Dark. And
you see he's just throwing it down anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that one's next to that one. It doesn't even matter. He's probably just clicking the mini-map on where he wants it to go.
Maybe, man. No, but seriously, like, we joke about whack-a-mole, but, like, really, this is what the Protoss is having to deal with. His Nidus Orms are popping up everywhere, and it's basically too many fires in too many places, and the Protoss can't put it out in time.
Yeah, the Swarmhost Nidus, the thing is, as soon as, I've always said this, like last year especially when it was even more powerful than now, if you are in your base when the first wave hits, you've lost the game as Protoss.
Yeah.
Almost 0 times you see the Protoss win from there at the pro level.
Yeah.
You need to be active, you need to be on the map and force them to use them defensively. And if you can't do that, the amount of value that they gain just every time they shoot out the locusts, it's something that's so incredibly hard to recover from. Like, look at this. What's he losing? He's losing a few roaches here and there. He's on 70 drones this entire time, just launching locusts and killing things nonstop.
He's just smothering him.
It's like, even if you're using mana to get rid of this, he's gaining, right?
Yeah. And so now the Nexus falls. This is really, I think...
Maybe you were right, Tasis. Maybe Dark is just going to smash Trap.
Sadly, I think I am right about that here. I mean, this is looking pretty hopeless right now for Trap. And, I mean, Trap has not really even been able to leave his base, to be frank.
No, yes. The thing is, like, if you're not ready to attack when they go Swarmhost Nidus, you're in so much trouble, which is why that was a great move. Right? It was like an Oracle opener and then some Adept drop harassment. So it was a very slow, like, harass while build your economy build from Trap.
Yeah.
Thing is, Dark identified that quickly enough to get into this composition. And from here, I mean, you see how it's going. That was insane.
That was satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, another good one.
But I don't think it matters, man.
Not likely. Look at this. He's getting into Vipers and Lurker tech all at once.
Yeah.
God.
But I can't blame Dark for doing this. I think this is among the strongest techniques in all of maybe even RTS. This is just so hard to stop. I mean, the idea. First of all, just getting Nidus up. I mean, once Dark has enough momentum, it does not seem like you can stop them. And by the way,
you can't stop them like this at the higher levels. Seriously.
And by the way, you know, this is a very different example of how Zergs can play. Is instead of just trying to stop the attack, they just start to spring these guerrilla attacks on you in different locations, and you're never really able to get to where you need to be. And remember, we've hardly seen any Protoss presence in the bottom left side of the map, like hardly at all. So, I mean, I know the Protoss is still in the game. I don't see any way that Trap can win, though, to be honest.
No, the game is over.
And I know that occasionally you guys will tweet at us and say, why do you guys say the game's over when they're still in the game? This is actually what we're here to do, guys. This is actually our job. I'm not here to lie to you.
This is like, so what is going to happen? Trap is going to have one powerful attack, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he stops running around like this, he'll just lose like all his nexuses, his tech, whatever Dark wants to kill.
Right, right.
He's barely keeping anything alive. I don't think he's even going to be able to move out for the attack, but we'll see.
Yeah, he'll have to try, or he'll have to lose his army doing that.
Yeah.
So we've seen a Lurker switch here, which actually Disruptors can be quite good against this.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, this is so much damage.
The blinding clouds forcing him on top of the Lurkers.
Oh, man. Now, he does push through those Lurkers.
Well,
here we go. Now,
one Immortal survived.
Yeah. It's 117 supply to his Zerg, which keeps peaking at max out.
Yeah. This is his one powerful attack that we were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Which is most likely futile, but let's let it pan out here.
The thing is, Dark was able to get into so much tech from here. Like, let's say that he was still on just layer tech. If he hadn't teched swiftly with that Stormhost harassment, this attack could have worked. But the fact that he had both Vipers and Lurkers, suddenly this composition is like outclassed by that. This would kill Roach. The Swarm hosts aren't going to defend well against this, but Lurkers, man. Blinding Cloud. Oh.
Yeah, this is brutal. I mean, ideally we would have wanted, to see a push like this, let's say before Nidus had started. But it's hard. It's really hard. And I also think Dark did a really good job hiding this until the last possible second. He knew that Trap sensed it could be coming, but he didn't have the confirmation until the Nidus just popped out as his Warp Prism with Adept saw it.
Yeah, that is true. He scouted it as it was already finished, so that's a bit late to start shutting it down. And you can see he left his base, he lost a bunch of units, now everything starts to die.
Yeah. And so what do we have left for the Protoss? I see 2 Archons and Adepts, some Zealot Harass. Not enough, too little, too late. Dark right now with a 2-0 lead. And again, guys, this is a best of 5. I know we kept saying best of 7. So that means that Trap has to 3-0 from here.
Doesn't seem too likely. Dark is on top of things right now. I think that was really, truly beautifully played by Dark, even though people are, people get frustrated with Swarmhost Nidus and whatnot. And they're like, oh, it's so easy to kill Protoss like that. The thing is, Trap would have killed most Zergs that would have tried that. But Dark actually rotated his Swarm hosts really, really well. He was utilizing Lings and Roaches at the same time to put pressure on different locations and force Trap's army to move in different directions. And then he teched swiftly up into Vipers and Lurkers while doing all this. And all that together made him look invincible. Yeah, he looked invincible, but like he did a lot of things to make him look invincible.
Yeah, I mean, he's the world champion. He does look invincible. He played that really, really well. Really brilliantly handled. I wonder what's going on in Trap's head. I mean, he has to have 3 of the 3 best PvZs of his entire life in a row. And maybe he can beat Dark. Maybe even then, we don't know. We're going to go to Everdream for map number 3 as Trap vs. Dark continues on. Again, the winner is in the finals of the GSL Super Tournament.
Game start. Jin Air Green Wings. Trap. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark.
Wonder if Dark is going to get aggressive now. He normally mixes in a pretty high amount of aggression, so I wouldn't be too surprised. By the way, I like the rotation of strategies of openers from Trap. For instance, game 1 he did hatchery block, and that makes you think like maybe I should build my hatch a little bit earlier as Zerg. Very nice pick out there by Dark, by the way. Went past like he was going to his third, came back, built it as now.
Yeah, nice little fake there.
Yeah, but and then game 2, Trap went gas first, which means no scout, because it just kind of builds your minerals and gas a little bit more efficiently, but you can't scout with it. Which means that if Dark was like trying to prevent being hatch blocked by going earlier hatch, suddenly he countered that. And now this game he hatch blocks again. So he's just kind of alternating that. I like the feel of that from Trap.
Yeah, you have to have a good rotation of that. What?
I just thought, like, I like the feel of that from Trap because it's like, well, it makes sense in my head saying that, right? Like, that feels like a good rotation of those strategies, even though it's hard to measure. It's kind of like subjective. What is a good rotation of how to do that? But then I thought of like what is it, like whiskey testers or something, or maybe it's wine testers or food testers.
Where are you going? What do you mean?
Say something like, "Oh, this has a very good mouth feel,"
or this has a lot of body to it, or
yeah, something like that. But like, have you ever heard the term mouth feel?
No, but that's going to be my new StarCraft ID.
Well, that's
yeah. Oh man, it's mouthfeel. That guy's a grandmaster. He's really good. Mouthfeel is alone as a standalone set of 2 words is the most creepy, gross.
I definitely saw it on like a cooking show or something.
After you kiss your significant other, just ask him how your mouthfeel is.
How's the mouthfeel of that kiss?
What I like when I make out with you,
10,
you've got a good mouthfeel, you know?
That's funny.
Now, can I please see your feet? No. No, but to go back to what you're saying, I do get what you mean. Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, if I said that has a nice feel to it, I was thinking how weird it would be, like, yeah, the mouthfeel of this strategy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you ever see? Are you familiar with Sacha Baron Cohen? The guy,
a little bit.
Ali G. He did Ali G and Borat.
I've seen a little bit.
Have you seen?
Stuff.
He did a new show recently, and he did one where he one of the characters is an ex-convict who's trying to make it in society, and he has one where he actually tricks this guy, this famous food taster, into thinking that he's eating human, and getting him to talk about it.
Really?
It's incredible. I'll show you after the show. It's probably on YouTube somewhere, but it makes me think of what that guy was saying, the way he was describing what human tasted like.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay. Second Oracle on the way here. I don't know what Trap's supposed to do. Normally, I feel like I can kind of figure out something, like, okay, maybe he needs to go with this or that, but
yeah,
I just don't know. I feel like Dark is so robust against pretty much all Protoss openers.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel that way right now.
I feel like the 2 people that could maybe take on Dark would be like Parting and SOS, like have a better chance because the play styles can be so confusing, you know?
SOS had some close games against Dark, even though it was a 3-0.
Yeah.
Like he pushed him a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Parting is one of the guys where, like, Dark will beat him probably, like, I'm just going to throw some numbers. Maybe Dark beats him 65% of the time.
Yeah. But Parting takes games off of him,
but
which is
it's
important.
like, yeah, these series can be close, man. There's like cannons you never saw and like sharp timings and all this stuff. That's a dangerous player for you. Whereas Trap is a player more like Stats, where he's like, well, I want to be the 60% guy, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you are a pro gamer and you have a 60% win rate, you want a lot of money.
Yeah. By the way, we're having a big plume of Lings come up here, as well as a Baneling's Nest thrown down. Here come the Adepts to merge with the Oracles. Oh, I guess that sound was actually one of the Oracles going down. Maybe I missed that. 32 Lings now coming.
Wow. Okay,
He's
that
not
is
stopping.
a lot of Lings and the Baneling Nest on the way.
Yeah, initially I thought, oh, he might just be getting those for the Adepts, because I was going to say there must be some attack.
No,
but now for sure, yeah, he's going to.
You generally don't sit 50 Lings at home as defense.
Yeah. When it was initially 16, I thought, okay, that might be just enough. So he's going to morph these. Now, there was a spread of Oracles going north, but they actually did not manage to catch these Lings.
Yeah, it seems like he was just looking elsewhere at the moment. I mean, there's two sentries here. That's a lot of Banes. I think the third base just falls.
Okay, here we go. I feel like I'm watching this in slow-mo.
Yeah.
He's actually morphing more Banes over here. There's not much defense. I don't see any force fields go down just yet. There's one, but it seems almost to help in some of the surround here for the Zerg.
Man. He's just getting everything. He's like, well, first I'll bust the third, and then I'll bust the natural.
This is a buffet of Protoss destruction. This is an all-you-can-eat.
Oh, no. Oh, my
21
God.
kills.
Dark just does everything, man. By the way, 50 workers behind this.
GG.
Okay, well, that was one of the more one-sided matches of the tournament, actually. So good on you, Tasteless, for not believing in the best Korean Protoss at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure people at home are impressed with me, no doubt. You know, me and Dark are the people that people are impressed.
You two are the real heroes here today.
Now, Dark, can this guy be stopped? I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's in very good shape.
I was worried that the series might look like that, and usually my better angels say, come on, let's at least say that the other guy has a chance. And I thought, I don't know, man. Dark looks so
well, if Trap doesn't have a
untouchable.
shot, who does have a shot?
I don't know if that race right now has a shot against Dark. He's looking so perfect. Seriously, he's just so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have much more to say, man.
Well played by Dark.
He's very strong. Hopefully, Trap continues on the trajectory he seems to be on, which is basically looking better in every tournament he plays in. Like, you know, I mean, top 4 GSL Super Tournament there's no shame in getting that far. Unfortunately, he was completely fleshed out by Dark.
Yeah. Well, at least he gets a seed into Code S.
Sure. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, the other half of the tournament. Don't go away.